Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and for today's review, I'm going to talk about Seer, a heavy metal group out of South Texas, represent, and the recent EP release, Echoes of Eternity. Now, for my last couple of reviews, I kind of stumbled back into talk about some of the more well-known artists, like Chevelle's newest release, Utias, I can't pronounce it right, but you know which one I'm talking about, the one that was released in March of this year, and A Day to Remember's newest release, You're Welcome. And the reason for that was because I was having a little bit of trouble trying to find some new artists that were trying to get some recognition in 2021. Fortunately, the boys from the Jackdaw, who I did my first ever review on, had shown me a tweet on Twitter, and I decided to check it out, and I saw Seer on there, and when I checked out this group, I realized I wanted to do a review on them because they do have a small presence currently, and it looks like they're trying to build a reputation. So, as we go for this review, I'm going to give you guys the basic rundown of this group and the EP, and then I'll give you guys what my reactions were to the overall production and the overall quality of the EP. So let's start off with a brief background about this group. From what I gathered on their social media pages, it turns out that they were established in 2015, but they were doing like years of collaborations with other groups, and they were also exchanging production notes amongst themselves. This group is made up of two guys, Cameron McLendon, who's a guitarist, and Trey Cecilio, the lyricist and vocalist of the group. And they took all the metal elements from their experiences, and they put them all together to fuse this group together. As I was searching out this EP on YouTube, in each of the individual songs, I was seeing the dates were slightly different. They were changing from like 2018 to 2021, so I was a little confused there, but when I looked on the actual website, I saw that it came out in February of this year, February 14th to be exact. So here's a track list of the whole EP, totaling 9 songs. The last 3, they're really just remixes. There's no vocals in it or anything, so it's really just based on preference there. This group incorporates a good amount of metalcore, and they jump between soft and heavy melodies every now and again. It's pretty much your typical metalcore. You get a good amount of breakdowns, you get nice guitar leads every now and again. There are no solos, and I know that's just a preference deal. It's not so much a problem for me, but I know that's really a preference for some folks. And there's a good amount of diversity on this album, both in the structure of the music and the vocals. Trey does a good bit of soft-spoken lyrics before he jumps into the metal screaming. And it's kind of borderlining with the metal screams that we're accustomed to. There's no growls or anything like that. It's not the greatest, but it is what it is. You just gotta make do with what you got. But the biggest problem for me seemed to be the production. It seemed like it wasn't as clean, as crisp as a typical studio would be. But from what I saw in the YouTube videos that they were sharing, it seems like they were doing all of their work within somebody's room, assuming it was a bedroom or some man cave or whatever. And, it wasn't the overall sound was bad, but you didn't get a whole lot of bass. If you listen real carefully, you could probably hear it, but it didn't stand out. It was the same thing with the bass pedals whenever they would do double kick pedals. And it's true you have to make do with what you have. So I'm not going to criticize it too bad. It just didn't sound as clean as I thought it would be. And the bass really didn't stand out. But if you listen pretty good, you get the lyrics pretty well, and there's a good guitar vibe. But a little criticism goes a long way when it comes to learning. As I went through each individual song, I wanted to find a song that could really pique my interest. And that one I really have to give it to was Just a Taste of Chaos. It starts off as just typical metalcore, the nice breakdowns, the metal screaming, nice guitar leads right here and there, but it was right around the 225 mark that really got me. It does a soft melody and a nice build up, and then you just end on a high note with the song. And it was just amazing, just to put it simply. I really can't speak enough about it. That one I would consider my favorite song overall. The rest were good in their own right, but there really wasn't one that really piqued my interest outside of this one. So definitely Just a Taste of Chaos. I almost said that wrong, sorry. So for the last bit of critique, let's go over the pros and cons of this EP. I'll start with the pros. The pros, you get a good amount of diversity, both in terms of the music and vocals, and it seems that their past experiences have really helped them make a good EP with some good metal tunes on them. You really see that there's a good amount of potential for them to be huge going forward. The cons were pretty much already discussed throughout this review, with the first being the production, but I'm willing to forgive that because you really gotta make do with what you got, especially when you're dealing with it in a home studio. And really, it just comes down to personal preference. I didn't have any problem with it whatsoever. I'm not gonna criticize Trey's vocals too much because in metal, you just gotta make do with the voice you have. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about the whole EP in general. And tell me what you think the cons were. In conclusion, I'm going to give this album a 7 out of 10. There's a good amount of work that these guys need to work on, but I did see a YouTube video that really showed about the struggles they went through before this release, particularly from Trey's point of view, so I'm really wishing these guys the best of luck. I'm looking forward to see what they release in the future. Godspeed, Sincere. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment below about what you guys think of Sincere and their newest EP. If you guys know of any artists, regardless if they're big or small, or if you're in a band yourself, let me know in the comments below or on my social media channels. I'll leave them in the description below. And if you like, I can do a review on them. As always, you're welcome to subscribe and make sure you hit that bell notification so you can see more content like this in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe and stay tuned.